Welcome to Fashionably Broke.
I'm kidding, don't use that.
Just wear whatever the hell you
Like,
want.
literally just...
We're living on a McDonald's budget.
Just because you're broke doesn't mean you have to dress like it.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Fashionably Broke Podcast, episode 109. As y'all can see, this is a solo episode. Who knew that Nashville and Fort Worth would be getting actually such bad weather? I was rudely awoken at like 5 in the morning this morning to what felt like a tree coming through my roof. But it didn't, so we're fine. We just have so much rain and high winds. And then Maddie's storm is coming in Tuesday night, and we tried recording, and she just has no Wi-Fi. It keeps going in and out. So this week we are doing some solo episodes, a little recap of our trips. I obviously went to Las Vegas. Maddie was in Louisiana at Mardi Gras. I'm kind of sad we're not doing this together. Because, I haven't heard all about Maddie's trip either, because we always try to wait for the podcast, because, raw, real reactions, it's hard to fake that in the end, you know what I mean? So we, hold off on telling each other stuff, and this week, I guess we're just gonna have to watch each other's solo episodes and go from there. But I'm still gonna start the episode out, as we always do, highs, lows, we can recap. My high was obviously going to Las Vegas with friends. Absolute time of my life. John Summit. I'm gonna get more into this later. I don't want to go into the deep dark hole that I'm going to go into about him. But I love. And sometimes this podcast makes me a hypocrite. And I think this is one of my hypocrite moments. But that's okay. We're just going to glaze past that. My low, I woke up Monday morning. So I was in Vegas, landed Friday. Actually, our flight got delayed an hour because they had to change a tire because apparently the tire was flat. So, good thing they caught that, because if not, our plane would have probably flipped over like the other planes have been doing as well. So that wasn't great, because we got to Vegas really late and had reservations that night as well. But better safe than sorry, right? So got there Friday, left on Monday. I think it all caught up to me. I think it was the fun and the hype of Vegas, where it's this is so much freaking fun that in the moment you don't realize, and you just wake up and do it again and do it again and do it again until you wake up 6 a.m. Monday morning to get to the airport for your 8 a.m. flight, and you're like, oh, wow, I'm hurting more than I've ever hurt in my entire life, and I don't think I will ever be able to drink an espresso martini again. And that's not even my go-to drink. Why was I drinking that all night long? Not even all night. We got home, Chris and I got home, or to the hotel, at 11 p.m. So I started drinking these espresso martinis probably at noon. And time just gets away from you in Vegas, to say the absolute least. But that was probably my low, is waking up Monday and just having it all hit me at once. It's a very humbling experience, because I was like, oh, I got this. I've woken up every morning, chugged some water, took some Tylenol. I was ready to go. Monday, I hated my life, but that's okay. So, getting into the weekend recap, Vegas. This was my second time here. First time I went to Vegas was for my good friend Paige's 21st birthday, which means I was 21 as well. So a whole different scene, and it was also during the peak of COVID, and I guess things were already starting to open again. COVID to me is an absolute blur, because we went in July of 2020. Right? 2020. Yeah. July 2020, and the only thing that was open was pool parties, which I had the time of my life as well. We went to pool parties, dinner reservations, but all clubs were shut down. I did not get to visit a single club in Las Vegas, and I feel that's half the experience. So, did I really even experience Vegas when I went? So, this was my first time being able to go to anything and everything. So we flew in on Friday. We got in pretty late, maybe like 7. Okay, that's not pretty late, but like when you have reservations at like 8:30, you're like rushing from the airport to your hotel room. Obviously, you have to shower because you were in an airport the entire day, and that's disgusting if you don't. I don't know how people go like straight from the airport to out because I feel quite literally like sickening from the airport and all the germs and just all the nastiness. Like a plane is just gross and nasty and like a confined space with people farting next to you. Has everyone seen that TikTok of where it's like, who farted? God, it smells so bad. That's hilarious. And I should have made that TikTok on the plane. But anyways, so we get in and we meet our good friends, Taryn, Garrett, Emily, and Dylan. They were all there. We went to a restaurant, had a great meal. It was so yum. And then the night just began. We started drinking. We went to some casinos. It was a fun time. I'm not a huge gambler. I actually didn't gamble at all for being so realistic. Me and Kristen watched Taryn gamble, and it was the time of my life. Like, she was winning like $1 bills and like $5 bills, like nothing crazy. And we were celebrating as if like we just won like $10 million. Like, it was actually so freaking fun. We went to the Chandelier Bar. That's obviously just a must. It's beautiful. Love it. The drinks were amazing. And like, yes, the drinks in Vegas are expensive, but tell me why. Oh, God, I might like get canceled for saying this. Tell me why I thought they were going to be more expensive. Like $25. I'm like, yeah, makes like specialty cocktail. Yeah, like makes sense. I don't know. I was expecting more. Like the way people were talking about it, I was expecting like $50 a drink. But that's not what it was. So I was kind of pleased by the pricing. So we just stayed out, had a grand old time. Everyone decided to go their separate ways around like 3 in the morning. Obviously, you need a little midnight snack at 3 in the morning. So Kristen and I went to the infamous Taco Bell. I was not notified that Taco Bell was like an absolute nightclub when you walk in. Like when you're ready to like go home, settle down, I'm going to grab some food and go home. You're already mentally prepared like, oh, I'm just going to go into, this fast food place, get some food, go home. No, it was a club. Like people dancing, the music was loud as it gets. Like I was shocked and I was like, whoa, I was already prepared to like go home and not deal with this. But we went to Taco Bell, got some food, ended up going home, and it was great. It was great. The next day, slept in a little, maybe got up at like 9 o'clock, which is like 11 o'clock, Central Time, which was super nice. So it kind of felt like I slept in. Got ready for the day. And honestly, just like had ourselves a day. We didn't really have any plans. We went to brunch. I wish I could I should have like listed every single place we went, but I didn't. And honestly, like we didn't go many places, like brunch wise, dinner wise, like stuff like that, because this was a very last minute trip in my books because I'm a planner. I'm like a 6-month in advance planner, and I'm pretty sure this got planned like a month ago. And we're just like, you know what? We're just going to do it. We're going to absolutely go for it. So I don't even really have all the details, and I'm so sorry about that, guys. But like maybe I'll post some stories of like where we went and update everyone so everyone knows like what recs that they should go to. So we went to brunch, had the best acai bowl of my absolute life. I wanted to start off like a little light because like nothing is worse than like being in a cute outfit and like going balls to the wall, getting like French toast galore and just feeling fat as hell all day when you're trying to drink as well. So I thought I was going to go, the skinny girl route and do that. But I also had some chicken and waffles, which were absolutely great. But yeah, just had a great time. Hello. At brunch, moved on to the casinos, did some of that. And then we went back home, showered up, rested a bit, went out to dinner, and then went to John's Summit. This is where I would like to apologize to every single person when I said, like, that's not really my thing. I said it. It's my thing. I had the absolute time of my freaking life. Like John Summit, like 15 out of 10. Not even a 12 out of 10. Like 15 out of 10. I want to go and I want to go again and again and again. I would like to see Dom Dalla next as well. Like I'm fully on the DJ train. But I would like to say something, which I feel like not everyone's going to agree with me, but I also feel like there's some people that is like, yeah, not the same thing. So I feel like a set, like a DJ set, is not the same thing as a rave. A rave is like girls in bras and thongs and like glitter and bejewels all over their face. Like that's a rave. Like John Summit was not like that. Like I like going to like a DJ set like that and like seeing John Summit. So this was at Live Las Vegas, and you know, obviously Live's fairly new, and it was just the absolute time of my life. We met two guys from Denmark. Hot as hell, the hottest accents you could ever think of. And it just got me thinking, like, I just forget like how many people visit like the US from like other countries. Like we're always so set on obviously going other places when traveling out of the country that like I never thought like people plan a trip to Las Vegas to come and party from like all over the world. Like I don't know that why like it was so shocking to me. I'm like, do y'all not have like something like Las Vegas like there? I don't know. But I would just like to shout out Kristen because she was a real one through it all. She absolutely hated her life at John Summit, which is okay. I can understand. But like I had such the time of my life that like she like was willing to stay and wait it out until like I was ready to go home. I mean, what a great friend. What a great freaking friend. It was the time of my life. Liv was packed, absolutely packed. Like I left to go get drinks for Kristen and I was like, stay here, hold our spots, hold on to your phone because like if I can't find you, I'm gonna need you to like answer the phone. Something's gonna have to happen. So I go to the bar, I get some drinks, and I try to like enter where I exited. You know, I'm just gonna go the same way because Kristen's literally standing 10 feet. Okay, that's a little dramatic. Like 15, 20 feet tops from where like I'm trying to enter again. And the bouncer's like, nope, can't enter. And I was just like, sir, my friend's like right there. Like literally right there. I can see her. And he's like, nope, we're not allowing anyone to enter. And I was like, okay, like where can I go to make it back, you know, on the ground? Where do I go? And he's like, oh, you can go like all the way around and like go through the back. And I'm like, sir, the back? How the hell am I gonna? I obviously didn't say this to him because I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, sure. The back, the way I just had to be like, excuse me, I'm so sorry, like, I know. I absolutely know there were so many people that absolutely hated me there, but I made it back to Kristen, thank the Lord, with some new vodka sodas. And I was like, yeah, we're not leaving to get drinks again. Like this is our last drink, so we better make it last, and we're just gonna have the time of our life. So that was Saturday night, right? I'm pretty sure that was Saturday night. Yeah, that was Saturday night. And then Taryn, Garrett, Emily, and Dylan were all leaving Sunday morning, and they didn't go to John Summit because like not their thing, which, you know, I completely understand. Because like it's a whole different ball game like once you get in there, and I wasn't really prepared for that, but like still had the time of my life. So like it means I'm like one of them now. Hate to say that. I don't know. So we didn't see them again. They flew out Sunday morning. So Sunday was kind of just me and Kristen exploring the strip, walking around, you know, going to the Bellagio to see the fountain, kind of just like sightseeing. And then we just went to like this beer park, like across the street, had a few beers on a rooftop. The weather was amazing. The wind was a little much. It seems like everyone's having high freaking winds within the past like 3, 4, 5 days. Like winds are crazy everywhere. But it was so nice to just sit on a rooftop, get some sun. It was absolutely amazing. And then, I don't know, we ended up at some casino bar that we were probably sitting at for 5 hours drinking. Literally just sitting there having a ball, meeting people at the bar. See, that's the thing. When you're a single girl, you can't just go to a restaurant and like sit at a table and drink. Like, no. You need to be going to a bar. If that's a casino bar, if that's a restaurant bar, it opens you up for the opportunity to like talk to people and get to know people. Like, we met so many cool, fun people. It was the absolute time of my life. And then we ended up going back to the hotel room. Honestly, Sunday was like not that eventful, but also pretty eventful because I drank too much that day, to say the least. I'm sorry, Mom, because I know that you're going to yell at me for that. But Monday morning, we flew out. Everything was swell, no delays. We made it back to Dallas. And that was the end of the trip. I would love to go back to Las Vegas. I really would. I would like to go back during the summertime or like spring, summertime, because that's when all the pool parties are. Obviously, the pools like were not open this time of year, which was kind of sad because last time that's obviously all we knew, and it was the time of my absolute life going to these pool parties. So I'm excited to relive that at the age of 26. It'll probably hit a little harder of me not being able to hang, but I'm ready to plan my next trip to Vegas. So anyone who would like to join, please let me know. But that was the long story short-ish of my weekend recap. I just have a few topics that I want to hit on, just because me and Maddie had already planned this for the episode, but obviously Maddie could not join us tonight because weather is just like not cooperating with us, and we're recording on a Tuesday and we have to get something out tomorrow. So I'm here with my solo episode and I want to talk about Giggly Squad. Vanity Fair, the Oscars party. I mean, wow. Paige and Hannah came to play. I mean, they looked absolutely amazing. I want to start with Hannah because the extension she had, they looked great on her. Like, amazing, so elevated, like, so fitting for the Oscars because, like, I feel like sometimes long hair just, like, styled really well, like, just, I don't know, something different for, like, an award show, something like this is just, like, always the way to go because it's, like, not your everyday thing. Like, you want to dress elevated, you want to try something new out, you kind of want to test the waters and see, how great you can look in high fashion. And she absolutely killed it. Paige, I mean, fashion, she kills it every single time. Every single time. And they were actually so hilarious. And it was kind of refreshing to have like an interviewer like joking around, just like girly talk, It's just like, if you know Giggly Squad, you know. Like that's all I can really say. And it was nice and refreshing just to have like something different and not just always something like straight to the point, like every single like interviewer, how is this movie you're in, how is this, like, yes, those questions are great, but they were getting like a little more personal, or just being like, oh, like, what was your routine while getting ready for the Oscars, like, did you get anything special, like, did you get Botox before this, did you get like a lymphatic drainage massage, like be looking snatched, like just asking the great questions where like people want to talk about this, and like it was just nice and different. I also, back to Hannah, she's been absolutely killing it in the fashion. Like her outfits, the Michael Kors show that they went to, 12 out of 10. 12 out of 10. And I just love how they always like create a bit out of like absolutely nothing, where it's like, oh, Hannah's dressed up, like this is so shocking. We did not think we would see this. We thought we would see, Hannah in like jorts and a t-shirt and her being like, yeah, this is the best it could get. But she's been popping off when it comes to everything fashion related. So I'd like to shout you out, Hannah. You've been doing an amazing job. I don't know if like Paige is getting you set up or like the stylist is just really doing well lately. Keep it up. 12 out of 10. I kind of already hit on John Summit and like the difference between like a DJ set, raves, like there's definitely a difference. And like I'm not into raves, but like John Summit, Dom Dalla, sign me up. I'm hoping that makes sense to everyone and I'm just like not looking like an absolute idiot since this is like literally my first time doing any of that. But like I had the time of my life and I'm so sorry to like anyone I ever said like that's not my thing. Like, ew, I hate that. And then no, it was time of my absolute life. So if anyone would like to go see them with me, let me know because obviously Kristen will never go to that again in her entire life. And that's fine. That's fine. Lastly, the Alex Earl, Alex Cooper, Hot Mess, Unwell Network, all the drama around that. Well, drama, that I don't know, that's a little far because like no one's talking about it. So obviously, last week we hit on Alex Cooper dropping Hot Mess from the Unwell Network. At least that's what they said. That's what these news outlets were coming out with. And like most of the time, like everything they say is like pretty true or like something related around it. And like Alex Cooper, Alex Earl was just like going to speak on it later, but they like released the information to a news channel for them to release and then they'll speak on it. But Alex made a TikTok, and I mean glazed over the fact. Glazed. And she's like, yeah, I know, like, me and my job is, like, things are, like, weird right now. And she's like, I don't even really know what's going on. That's literally all she said about it. Period. That is all. And, like, she didn't even specify podcast. She just said, like, job. Which, like, when I think about Alex Earl, like, I don't think of, like, a podcast as, like, your like 9 to 5, if that makes sense. Or, like, not even, like, the overall thing you do within like your career. So I'm just so intrigued to know where this goes. So I'm going to give you a little bit of my thoughts. I think Alex Earl's dad, that's her manager, is trying to negotiate with Unwell to bring Ashton Earl into Hot Mess, into the contract, and have Ashton and Alex paid. I mean, it makes sense. They both do the podcast. Ashton's about to graduate. Ashton wants to move to New York City. Like, she's trying to get that bag. And, like, her dad's trying to help her. I understand 24/7. Like, I get that. Like, 100%, 110%. So I'm thinking that they were in the negotiating stage and it wasn't going well. And someone caught wind it wasn't going well and just, like, let the news outlets know, and like they kind of just ran with it. Since Alex Cooper and Alex Earl like both have not talked about it, I think they're still in the negotiating stage. Like I feel like if there was some huge falling out, like I really thought there was in the beginning of all of this, it would have already been spoken on. But it seems like they're trying to like save something here or announce something in the right way or change things in the right way. I don't know. And I know Alex Earl. God, it's so hard to keep everyone straight with the same name. I know she doesn't really like confrontation. She doesn't like to bad mouth anyone. So like maybe that can do partly with it and Alex Cooper's just like not really wanting to talk about it. I don't know. I'm actually so confused because I was watching BFFs and apparently Bree was talking about, the situation and saying like, yeah, shit's about to get crazy. Like stuff's about to come out that like, I'm not going to say anything, but like I've heard that like shit's about to get crazy and like things are going to come out and you're going to be like, no way that's happening. So I'm just like surprised we're not there yet. But then I'm like, is Bree just like, putting gasoline to the fire and just like hoping it sticks because Alex Cooper picked up Grace and like it, I don't know. There's just so many different ways that this can go. And I have to get to the end of it because I so want to know. Like, I feel like Alex Earl's always very understanding. She obviously, you know, wants to do good by her contract, but she also wants to bring her sister on. I think she wants to stay a part of the Unwell Network, because if she didn't, she could just be like, yeah, I'm out. I'm over this. I'm out. And it's seeming like she's not that way whatsoever. So I will be keeping a close eye on that, because that's going to be big news either way. If like they come out with like a statement saying like, we don't know how this came out, like, you know, we are negotiating a new deal, this was never what it was going to be, or maybe like shit's just gonna hit the fan and it's going to be an all-out brawl, and like one side just has to start the all-out brawl. So I will be tuning into that whenever we can get some more information about that. But I feel like those are really the only topics I wanted to hit on today. Obviously, I wasn't on social media too much this weekend. Wish I would have caught more of the Oscars, like outfits wise, and like seen what designers people were wearing. But maybe we'll do that later. Maybe I'll just keep that to myself and just, you know, judge within the comfort of my own home. But I hope y'all enjoyed this solo podcast. Sometimes it is a lot harder just staring at yourself in a camera, talking to nobody but yourself. So I definitely missed Maddie this episode, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. Check out Las Vegas. I will put up some recs that we went to that we really enjoyed. I just don't have all the names off the top of my head. But happy Wednesday, guys. We hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.